Walker moving like this. You got to dodge the crazy punches. Oh my God.
What's up, guys? You know who it is. Korean Ninja MMA over here, and I'm getting this nice little breakdown. Hopefully, you have time to use it and get some maybe good bets going, get some insight on these fights that I've had on my memo here. I've had my memo about like the different leans I got for this fight and stuff, but finally I'm getting them all together. Finally having a chance to put it out. That's neither here nor there. Let's just get into this breakdown. Make sure you like and sub. Also, leave me a comment and check out my Instagram as well. I'm more active on there. But yeah, UFC Fight Night, Santos versus Hill. So this card, I mean, look, I put this in my notes, but like this card seems pretty chalky, so it could be a trap. But that being said, I like, these are my early leans. I liked Egger. I know it's women's MMA, but still Luca and Hill. And I mean, these aren't really hot takes, but I mean, I also like the overs for the McKenna and Granger fight. Like, I'm not saying it should be a part of like your big parlay, but if you want to have a little sprinkle on there, I think McKenna versus Granger, that should be a nice little over. I want to just talk about that a little bit. McKenna versus Granger, look, Granger's going to have a big reach advantage, right? I mean, just looking up these girls' way, I mean, they match up. It's like, look, 5'3" for McKenna, 5'7" for Granger. I mean, we got 68 inches of reach for Granger and then 58 inch for McKenna. So we got like, that's, geez Louise, that's like a 10-inch reach advantage. I mean, it's crazy. McKenna has more significant strikes landed per minute, but as far as the accuracy, I mean, Granger's more accurate with 60.79%, whereas McKenna's only 55.79%. But that's, and takedown average, is 1.33 for McKenna, in accuracy 44.44% for McKenna. So, I mean, maybe McKenna could use her grappling in this stuff. I think I'm not really looking to bet this. I'm seeing some people put Granger, like, it's kind of weird because Granger's the underdog here, so they think there's value. But I mean, and it could be because it's women's MMA, and with these ladies that are not going out there and really like starching or their opponents or having these crazy, amazing performances. I mean, it's just with McKenna. I mean, her last win, it's like it could go either way. You see like a split decision. This has like split decision written all over it, right? So I mean, why not just take the overs for that? Don't be I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of surprised McKenna's such a big favorite. I mean, I know I get it, Granger. I mean, not many people are very. They're not really, running to bet this fight, obviously, especially not on Granger. But look, there's value in the underdog, but I would say just take that over if you want, or just don't play it at all. That's another good thing too. But yeah, I mean, I've had that. I was thinking about that since earlier in the week. I thought maybe McKenna versus Granger, the overs for that should hit over 1.5. But now let's talk about. I want to kind of jump into the main event because this is the one I kind of had a big opinion about. I thought about and researched, and big question. We got a question. Santos's durability, and it's kind of funny because you look at Santos and he looks more like the physically imposing fighter, but it just goes to show that obviously looks don't mean much in a fight, right? I mean, this is not a bodybuilding contest. This is a fight. We're gonna see who's gonna win. And also, MMA math does not work, but look at how Hill versus Walker, and then ended, and then look how Santos versus Walker ended. I mean, it's just night and day. Now Hill, also another thing, like he's been, people were mentioning. Looking at the physiques, it's just it is hard to ignore. I mean, earlier in the week, right, he was kind of having maybe a little bloated. I mean, he does have a little gut out of camp. It could be from bloating, just whatever diet. But he loses it before the fight, and he's not like he's gonna look super jacked or anything. He's not trying to be overly muscular. I mean, that's just not his game. He doesn't need to be. But if this was the old Santos before the busted knees, maybe he'd have a better chance. But I do believe that Santos is not as explosive as he used to be. I mean, blowing out both his knees against John Jones. I mean, he's got a lot of heart. He's really wild. And I'm just kind of afraid that if Hill doesn't finish him, it could end up looking like the Santos versus Walker fight. I don't think it will, but I just feel like, yeah, with that fight, I mean, Santos is like, he's very explosive, but he needs to he does like capoeira kicks and stuff. He needs to go in there, and he's not, it's kind of weird because that's where he had a lot of success. I mean, he's not even like he's very physically imposing, it looks like, but he used to he fought down like welterweights, fought at you wonder about his physique. He used to be like welterweight, like middleweight, like heavyweight. I mean, it's fine. I think he's not like the biggest light heavyweight. He's not tiny or anything. I mean, he's obviously put on a lot of muscle, but I just feel like what can he do? I mean, he's gonna be having to hope that he gets a nice like a flashy KO or something in there. Like if he just kind of throws a spinning back kick, but you're giving essentially a puncher's chance to him. I mean, like I said, it could happen. He's dangerous though if he lands on you. If he lands, he can put your lights out. I mean, that's obvious. But Hill, I think, he's just like using that range. He's kind of good. he's not like, I'm not saying he's going to go in there and land really crazy flashy stuff, but sometimes he does throw a nice high kick out there that's deceptive, and he will do that 1-2. You know what I mean? He's really focused in. He really believes himself. He's saying all the right things in the interviews, and he's training. He's not overlooking Santos at any way, shape, or form. Looking back in shape, rocking those American flag Speedos. But anyway, I think, look, Hill inside the distance. I mean, that's going to be good just to get it out there. And Hill money line. I mean, that's fine. Just put Hill money line in a little parlay. I mean, everyone and their brothers been talking about this, right, since earlier in the week. So no hot takes there. But I mean, I'm just wondering. I mean, if the unders, maybe fight doesn't go distance, but that's pretty juiced as well. But yeah, I feel like a sprinkle on Hill inside the distance. Hill by KO, TKO is nice, and then maybe having Hill on the parlay is good. But hey, if you're really that worried, you could hedge with Santos. But it's Hill's time. He's just he's younger. He's more focused, and Santos is unfortunately just now spring chicken at this stage of the game. Taking damage. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Hill should get it done. But now let's talk about another fight in the co-main here. We got as far as Luca versus Neal. I mean, I'm on Luca again. Not a hot take, right? I am wondering about the overs for that fight, though. I've been thinking about that since early in the week. I mean, I don't know. I don't really see many people talking about it, but I do feel like Neal, he's probably not going to brawl really recklessly, so it could be a nice kickboxing match for at least the first 1.5 rounds. So maybe that could hit. I'm thinking, but Luca, he's got power. He can end it. Got good ground and pound as well. But I just feel like, I don't know. I think Luca. I mean, I think Neal will try to, he'll be a little conservative, try to make it kickboxing. He's durable as well. So and Luca, like, he'll get into a brawl if you bring it out of him. But if not, he could be a little more calm and composed. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, it'd be tough though. I mean, Luca inside the distance could be interesting. I mean, he's not gonna do it, but like Neal's not gonna do what Bilal did. I mean, it's to be his best bet. Maybe try to, do a little, push him against the cage, do a little, cage work there. Just try anything to slow down Luca. Anything just kind of like mitigate the odds of getting knocked out so early. But like I said, I mean, Luca all day. I mean, I feel like that could be a nice little parlay piece. Maybe just put in there. Maybe a 2-legger if you're thinking that. It's kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, and then sprinkle Luca inside the distance, be a nice one to do as well. But that's, like I said, sprinkle manager your units, dudes. But and then let's talk about, actually it's funny because like this is one where I kind of had a little lean earlier in the week, and Edgar was the underdog, and now she's like a favorite. But I do feel like as far as Buena Silva versus Edgar, I feel like Buena Silva is much better on the feet. Like she's gonna stand, she's gonna walk you down, try to swing a big shot, but I mean she struggles with like a lot of movement. I mean, it's not like Edgar's like the greatest striker or anything. If she kind of looks a little stiff, head out there, but this is an MMA match, it's not a kickboxing match. So I think Edgar will use her clinching, her nice judo trips, and she also get control time and ground and pound to play edge out a decision, just win a decision there. That's how I feel. I feel like it's worth a little bet there. Edgar, I'm not sure about a parlay piece. I don't know about that. I mean, women's MMA and all, but I mean, I think it's maybe worth a little bet on there, just like on its own, just Edgar money line. And let's talk about also another one here that's kind of interesting: Sato versus Battle. Man, I mean, hey, Sato from Japan, pretty cool. I want to root for him, but he's got power, and Battle can get hit. Just like when he fought Gore. Just look back at that fight, he's all over the place. I mean, he's good though. I mean, I think like. I was wondering about the sub prop for Battle to sprinkle on, but I feel like the fight might end up looking like Battle versus Gore, like as I mentioned. Battle's output is good, and he's got the front kicks, the high kicks, and the straight punches. He'll mix it up, and also will try to go for a takedown if he gets hit. So he's good at kind of trying to survive. Get that decision, be a busy fighter. But I mean, Sato's got power. I think a sprinkle like Sato inside the distance, or Sato by TKO or KO, I think is good. Maybe even by, I don't know about sub, but I feel like Sato inside the distance maybe is a nice little sprinkle just in case. But I think I do feel like Battle will be busier. He'll kind of like he knows what to do. He'll listen to his coaches. He'll be busy out there. Like I said, Sato can crack, man. He's got that nice left hand, man. That's why he wants to set it up. But so I mean, it's gonna be worrying. If you're betting on Battle, you're gonna be worried. You're gonna be praying that he's staying busy, he's using some grappling in there to try to mix it up, because you don't want to stand in front of Sato too long. He'll not find that shot. So I think it's worth a sprinkle. Sato inside distance worth a sprinkle, but I am picking Battle. I'm leaning Battle to win it. Do with that as you will. Maybe you want to put that in a little parlay or whatever, but I don't know. I would say if you are, I mean, sprinkle on Sato just in case. Maybe a little hedge or whatever. Or just, like I said, just popcorn fight and just a sprinkle on Sato inside the distance, just for fun. Just cover yourself. But, yeah, I mean, that's kind of, these are like my takes on it so far. I mean, I will say another thing, though. Let's talk about, so I've already talked about Hill, right? I've got him. I'm already talking about Luca. I've got him, too. There's nothing, really special. But, of course, we got to talk about Terence Mckinney over here. I mean, I'm a big fan of his. Yeah, he's coming up. I've liked it. I mean, he's got that finishing rate is insane. He's really good, really nice, down to earth kid, dude. I mean, he'll talk to people on the Instagram. He's even responding to me in messages. I've seen other bettors I've talked to in chats, and they said, "Oh, look at this screenshot." I mean, he talked to me. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's talking about, and he's mentioned wanting to show his heart and try to finish in the second round instead of trying to go for the finish in the first. He's always going to be looking for the finish. I think it could happen in the first, but he's talking about doing it in the second. Hey, that's what it's straight from the horse's mouth, as they say, right? So I'm wondering about that. But I do feel like the unders. I mean, I've talked about, like, I've been on Kenny, everyone, their brothers. Now it's like a crazy favorite, right? Like, how much is a favorite? I mean, it's like minus 1,000 or something, right? I mean, yeah, look at minus 900, right? And I've heard some people being on Gonzalez. I get it, Gonzalez. Hey, you think, okay, maybe Kenny is gonna, like, maybe if Gonzalez survives the storm, maybe Kenny will start to slow down, and Gonzalez can take advantage of that. I get it. It's tempting with the plus money on there, plus 600. I mean, if you want to do that, but I feel like there's the unders for this, man. I've been talking about that. I've heard people talking about Gonzalez. You know what I mean? Shout out to Jack Attack as well. Like, I know he's saying it's you gotta look at that value too. I mean, Gonzalez, I could see it. It's true. I've mentioned, like, the under 2.5. I mean, that's gonna hit if it's steamed. Under 1.5, nice with a sprinkle. I think, I mean, people talk about fight doesn't go distance, but isn't that, like, super juiced? I'm not sure. I haven't really looked at that line recently, but I think it's juiced. And McKinney's line for even for the inside the distance, or even by KO, TKO, is not that good. I think it's like only like plus something. Like, it's not that good. It's pretty juiced. So you're kind of paying heavy for that. I feel like the unders for this should hit. I mean, I just don't think it's going to go to distance. Maybe under 2.5. Under 1.5 would be nice, just to get, like, little, get some extra money on there. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, he's talking about doing in the second. I mean, I don't know. Do you see us going to third round? I don't know if it's going to third, guys. I don't really see it going to third. So take that with that what you will. Yeah, I think also that's one I'm looking at. I mean, as far as also we gotta talk about, speaking of big favorites, Alby versus Oleksiejczuk. Oleksiejczuk, I mean, I've already covered before. Minus 650 for Oleksiejczuk. Alby plus 475, but he's got a puncher's chance at this. He's just getting a paycheck on a losing streak, and this could be his last fight. I could see, like, Oleksiejczuk winning. I mean, they're both guys that are just kind of like. It's good that they're middleweight. You know what I mean? I think they're kind of they're kind of like, they're not the biggest middleweights, either one of them. Oleksiejczuk, including. I mean, I feel like Oleksiejczuk is just like, they're gonna box. He primarily just boxes, so he just wants to get in there and box, just primarily box. You really see low kicks, but so does Alby. He's kind of looking for that one punch. I think Oleksiejczuk, he's a younger guy. He's got more momentum. They both got power in the hands, but I feel like Oleksiejczuk, power-wise, I'm wondering, maybe Alby has, like, a slight power advantage. You know what I mean? He's if you're just looking for someone to land that one shot. But look at the chin. I mean, I think Alby could, I don't know if he can take it, especially against, Oleksiejczuk, he's going to throw. He's going to throw with some heat. I think the output will go there for sure. I mean, significant strikes lineup per minute, 4.75 for Oleksiejczuk, and Alvy's 3.30. But, and they're kind of similar in accuracy, 51.58 for Alby, 54.19 for Oleksiejczuk. And takedown accuracy, I mean, 42.8. I mean, they're not going to get taken down. It doesn't matter. 42.86 for Oleksiejczuk and 16.67 for Alby. Like, this is going to be a straight up boxing match. It's going to be like a bare knuckle boxing kind of match. It's going to look like, in other words, I mean, and, with like dirty boxing in there. But I think Oleksiejczuk, I mean, look, he's got to be a part of it. I mean, look, it's just chalky, but look, I mean, yeah, I got him inside the distance. I mean, you can play that inside the distance. I think that's worth a bet. Maybe you want to parlay him too. So that's how I'm feeling, guys. These are my takes. I mean, you can just kind of move them around, put them in a parlay if you want. Maybe just sprinkle on some of these props. And I think, it should be a good night. Hey, I don't want to really talk about too much of the other fights. I mean, it's just kind of not too interested in betting them. To be honest, unless maybe it's like a long shot for fun, Hail Mary, whatever you want to call parlay. But yeah, just best of luck. Just like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll get you on the next one. Peace out.